Good morning, savages. Welcome to Savage Sunday. I am your host, Eli, and we are going to be diving right in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Um, Today is episode 4 in our mental health series, and we're going to be diving into anxiety. So, first and foremost, with anxiety, now, anxiety is a very, very broad type of ailment, and it's something that you don't necessarily have to be diagnosed with in order to experience symptoms. So, what I mean by that is with anxiety disorder, sometimes you have a tendency to let fear overtake you, and at that juncture, your heart rate is elevated, or sometimes your stomach can feel a little bit queasy, or there's different things. Your shortness of breath, or maybe hyperventilation. Those are some of the things that end up taking place when you're dealing with anxiety. But you don't necessarily have to be diagnosed with anxiety disorder to have a symptom of anxiety. It really can be caused from the root of some sort of fear within you, whether it's a phobia, an overwhelming stress. So, as always, I like to make sure that I kind of express I'm not a doctor, right? So I'm not here to give medical advice. I'm not here to give you medical attention of any sort, but I am somebody that has dealt with a lot of these topics that I've been touching on, whether it's depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, what have you. Anything that we've touched on, I've dealt with. So I'm here to really give life advice and maybe some methods to coping. I would say that if you are experiencing some things that are multiple symptoms, or you're dealing with symptoms on a very constant or regular basis, I would say please seek medical attention. Um, Seeking help isn't a sign of weakness; it's actually a sign of strength. So even though with anxiety it's kind of like a double-edged sword, you want to kind of gauge for yourself. Stay off of WebMD, because you're going to be self-diagnosing yourself with so many things, and it's going to be more detrimental than it is going to be helpful. So if you are feeling that you have constant fear or constant symptoms of what we would determine to be anxiety disorder, please seek professional help, whether that is a primary care physician or a therapist. That being said, there's a difference between anxiety and anxiety disorder, right? So with anxiety disorder, you are having this feeling of living in constant fear, and that can actually take a toll on your relationships, your profession, or even the things that you do in life. Sometimes the things that you find enjoyable aren't as enjoyable because you're living under this constant pressure that you can't perform, or you're living under this constant pressure that you're not enough, and therefore it causes you to kind of come to a place where there's a stop sign, and everything that's going on around you just seems to overwhelm you. So I want to touch on something, and it's another story, and this one is a little bit different than the others. No animals involved here, but this is the story of the standing tree. So there's a tree that exists in a village, and in this fabled village, the tree has been there for God knows how long. The generations and generations that have lived in this place have always looked at this tree like it's an undying thing, and it's almost like a beacon of hope that these people can pretty much live strong as long as they stay strong, and it's almost like a mascot to them. So one year passes by. There's like a category 2 hurricane, let's say, rips through, strong winds, lots of damage to the town, maybe some roofs, um, some branches and brush come through, damaging some vehicles, and so on and so forth. But the tree stands strong. Next year, even stronger, twice the strength. Let's call it a Cat 4. Cat 4 hurricane comes through, just destroying parts of the town, and just strong winds, lots of rain, and there's just a lot of storm happening. Storm passes, tree stands strong. Year 3, I mean, category 5. Let's throw everything but the kitchen sink out there. And these winds at 175 miles an hour, strong beating, rain, flooding. The town sustains so much damage. Buildings, homes, commercial places of work damaged. But the tree stands strong. The following year, it's a sunny day, tree falls over. Kids are playing outside, go in, tell their parents, "Hey, our tree is dead. It's gone. It's on the ground. There wasn't a storm. What's going on?" Townspeople come through, they look, and they're like, "Hey, maybe it was the storms that did it. It just, it hit its peak in the age, and who knows." So the townspeople do a little bit more investigating. They look inside, and they see that the tree has been hollowed out a bit. Next thing you know, as they look in a little bit deeper, they start to see that the actual cause of the tree falling was termite damage. Funny how something that stands so strong in the midst of even the hardest things in life dies or falls over because of something that's been eating it up inside. So I gotta ask you, if you allow fear to take over from within and constantly eat at you inside, how long do you think you're gonna stand? Because one situation after another, coronavirus, Australian fires, like all of these things are happening to us, right? And there's so many things that are just happening in America. Constant killings, constant infection, constant fear that people are living under and enduring. But what happens if within you're not strong enough? What happens? Fear, whether it's through phobia or whatever the case is a truly sinister thing to deal with. And if you're not seeking the attention that you need, the medical attention or the therapeutic help, eventually what will eat you up inside will hollow you out and eventually make you no longer strong enough to withstand anything. I have a therapist that I see, and she's given me this method that I use called the touch method. Whenever I am having bouts of anxiety that are kind of overwhelming me. And it's like this. You put your feet on the ground, you plant them on the ground, whether you're sitting in a chair or maybe you're laying down, and you just sink into your pillow and mattress. You have to start to think, what do I feel? I feel the cushion under my butt. I feel the ground. Maybe it's tile. Maybe it's carpet. Maybe you're laying down. I feel the cushions around hugging my body. I feel my pillow enveloping my neck and my head. And that thought process of just thinking about everything that's surrounding ends up taking your mind off of the things that are elevating your heart rate. And then eventually bringing you to a place of Zen. So that you can think about what happens moving forward and take the next step. Whether it's a doctor, primary care physician, a therapist, if it's meditation, do something today as a first attempt to win this battle against anxiety. I know that's a holiday weekend, so I truly want everybody to stay safe out there. I don't know if beaches are open in your area or whatever the case is, but practice safety out there, social distancing, so on and so forth. I hope this helps. Next week we are going to be touching on PTSD, and we are going to be diving right in. So I can't wait to speak with you guys again and kind of take it from there. Until then, I want you guys to take care of yourselves. God bless. Stay safe. Stay sane. And I'll see you guys next week.